This will be the one. Oh, you think so? You think so? It was complete silence. Then I spoke. Taking the emotions of the last few videos and letting them drop. A manual return to objectivity at will. This is how it is going to be from now on for me. It's how it's going to have to be from now on for me. Make no mistake. It's not like, behold my awesomeness. Nah, man, it was an accident. What I've stumbled upon is a type of spiritual therapeutic that will make many people uncomfortable because the real deep spiritual truth often is uncomfortable. I have no idea how it's going to be propagated or administered. There are already people who do something similar, but I don't think that I'm violating patents or anything like that. I don't think it'll be anything else, but I'm going to figure this thing out. Functionality in full, and I don't know, there's got to be a niche for that. Gotta be. The problem is people are repressed. There are necessary repressions, there are unnecessary repressions. And the unnecessary repressions are places where people could be more self-honest, but in the process of improperly coping are not. Not sure how to sell someone on something like that because that's a personal decision to step out of that circle. My words right now are the channeling of the hum of the energy from reacquainting myself with this therapeutic. Gosh, it's been 14 years. 13 to 14 years, tops. Since I've tripped, and as of last week, have figured out how to trip without taking psychedelics. And in the process, accidentally blitzed almost all of the self-installed changes and protections to insulate me over the last quite several years. In total, no less than 6. Because there were 3 years of buried before 3 years of digging it all up and clearing it all out, sorting it, setting it, getting rid of what I could, and reinforcing insulation so that future scenarios will not include any of that damage. To put it bluntly, to avoid getting hurt. The process of that involved muting, squelching, minimizing as much of my emotions as possible, thus rendering the mood swings less relevant, thus rendering the impact of most situations less damaging to a recovering chrysalis of a mind that was me. That kind of still is, but I think the chrysalis is open. I only know so much about it. I know what people say if I talk to them about it, what people will say in other circumstances, and I know where their initial thing will be completely mismatched. Like, don't say that. Don't tell me that. Don't say that. It's not what it is. I described it as a days-long soulgasm while the emotion chip in the android was forced on. I think I did okay, but I think I have to have a manual control to where previously there was just a nope, and it's something else I'm going to have to master. Not excited. Previous countless attempts at getting some kind of vlog content about this, an explanation of the shift that I've experienced that I don't know if is visible or not, at least on here in my personal life. That is to say outside of my home, because, I mean, yeah, it's affected the cats too. But the people around me when I go to work and in town seem to be a little bit affected. It's unique. It's hard to describe. I can describe it, but it's not prudent to do so. The effect, it's surreal. I'm going to have to somewhat get used to it, at least so that I don't pop a bubble. And where before had just been the empty day by day rise and fall, up and down, work not work, now there is, instead of that hollow existence, an excess of emotional content that I really didn't ask for, but get to deal with. I'm not going to bitch any further than that, because it's not conducive. It means I have to be extra careful, extra careful in ways that I haven't had to be for a while. And maybe I've gotten lazy by being good at being zen. And it's not that I'm not zen, because I'm also zen. My reactions to these emotions has been completely different than ever before. But I don't know that my judgment is any better. And with great power comes great responsibility, and part of what this entails is an all-encompassing empathic sense. Like the experience I've had is kind of like the part in Highlander 2 in the bar, but more specifically the experience of what it is, this empathic omnisense is like at the end of Highlander 1. But what I do know is that it is a thing that is a repeatable experiment, which means there is a quantifiable effect, which means that with time, practice, honing, and tuning, I think people can be helped with it. It's already kind of a thing, but it's one of those things that nobody wants to talk about openly. But there's a whole slew of videos on YouTube that are tones that sound kind of weird on your phone, but put it on a speaker with some bass reflex. And then put your finger on that speaker, and then let your imagination suggest something to you. You'd be like, wait, what? There's a whole thing already. It's out there. Stumbled into it, having already... I'm not in the position of talking about how I developed this thing into what it is. It was fairly recent, and it had to do with getting away from other things. That's a conversation for another time. This video is about done. There is a therapeutic available if people are open to it that will clean your chakras out, restore and renew your soul, and remind you of what it is to be human, as well as who the fuck you are. In closing, I have some ideas for other content. I don't know that it's going to be on this channel because I may decide to monetize it, and this channel will never be monetized. We shall see. Got to give it some thought. Figure out how to do it, what it's going to take. There's going to be an initial investment. And it may still just be quashed.